Hi, I'm Dhruv, and this is a video sketch for our proposal called Permeable Membranes. It's advisable that you read the proposal before coming to this sketch because it's a description of a part of the installation already described in the proposal. And this is me, hi, and I'm meeting you inside an environment which is Python based, Python the programming language, and it's called Touch Designer. It's a node-based programming environment where you can use APIs of AI tools and other digital services, uh, which are usually difficult to integrate on one platform. This is one such platform. I'll start talking about the installation. So this is basically the facade layer, an idea for the facade layer, that how would the machine's interpretation of the activity happening inside the installation would look like. For now, we have used pre-recorded videos, stock footages of human activity that we could find and which aligned with our uh, intended curation of what will happen inside the sanctum space. I'll just shove the slider on the other way. So this is the source video which is being fed to the image recognition system and several AIs in the whole pipeline, which I'll explain soon. And this is sort of the interpretation. Uh, This visual heat map is sort of dependent on how much of the hands are being recognized as a person's hand as opposed to a gibberish visual. So I'll just take you along the image pipeline. This is where the source video is being fed from. And this is a tool by Google called MediaPipe. It's an open source tool which helps you classify the image as per what is being identified in the image by the tool. Uh, so you get data of this sort. So here I'll focus on this particular set. So it's trying to recognize what is in the image, and it has a certain amount of confidence that it's a person or a part of a person or a human being. The score is basically how much it is sure that there is a human being in the picture. So zero point 0.8 would mean 80% and zero point 0.7 would mean, so the maximum score that a human being can get in identification is 1, which is 100%. So a lot of this data, the score parameter, is connected to how much dots are there in this geometry, which is sort of a representation of how much probability the system has that there is a human in the image. So I've called this parameter humanness, for the lack of a better word. And if you focus on this, this is also a shimmering text. Basically, it loses opacity when it's not so sure that it's a human hand, and it gains its brightness when it is sure that it's a human hand. Basically, everything is being governed by this core. This is the pipeline. This is the geometry that is there. And as you can see in the properties of this geometry, uh, that the columns in this case, are being governed by this particular channel, which is the fifth channel of score. So this is how procedural programming usually works, that you associate these numbers to certain figurative things. And uh, I'll move to the central part of this facade. These are very interesting because these are the second tier recognitions. Once it is sure that there is a human being, now it starts to trigger other classifications. So basically these AIs, like the one that we started with, this one, which is an image recognition AI, these are trained on thousands of images and objects. And in every scene, it tries to find a little bit of other stuff also. The person or the human being the primary category which is being triggered. There are other categories also which are triggered. So I'm particularly interested in these also because these are sort of misrecognitions which also get triggered, and these are embedded contexts in the image that we are showing it. Although the image may seem like uh, just a banal activity of knitting, but there are so many information context embedded in these visual textures which get triggered when an AI looks at them. So this is part of the picture. Again, coming back to the facade, these two lines are sort of abstract and little poetic interpretations of what's happening in the screen. And for this, we have sort of uh, made certain personalities. So if you look at this word, which is cruel, you change it, so it turns to exploitative, which is not so much visible, but there's strict, there is generous, there is cruel. So these are the sort of example personalities that we intend to create in the workshops with people. For now, we have taken a shortcut for prototyping sake. We have just added this word to a prompt. What's happening here is that every time I click generate, an image of the first video will be clicked, a screenshot will be clicked, and it will be sent to a AI for a deeper analysis. So this is what the prompt looks like. This is like ChatGPT inside this environment. You are a cruel poet, so every time I change the word, the cruel changes to something something. So this is just a very simple interpretation. This would not be the final prompt. The final prompt would be much more complex than this. Interpret this image into an abstract two-line, less than 20-word description where your cruel qualities are shown. Basically, we are forcing the AI to sort of assume a personality and then describe the image. Uh, the word poet could have been avoided, but it's all right. So I'll just click generate and we'll see it in action. So now that I have explained the whole thing, I think it's. So let's switch the personality to exploitative. So you are an exploitative poet. And let's click generate. Let's see what happens. To be very clear, this is the source video, and every time I click generate, an image, still image from this, a screenshot, so to say, would be sent to the AI for an analysis. Okay, let's go back to our facade and click generate. I've added a little bit of animations using when the AI is processing. So it says threads entangled in art, exploit designs where 83% certainty finds profit. So it's sort of making these connections of craft and profit and exploitation and profit. And this is a glitch where the word 83 has literally been sent to the AI. So this is like kind of the tangibility that we expect on these lines. We'll try to make more nuances, get more quantified data onto this also. But this is sort of the idea that this image, this human activity that seems like a very simple to understand, when put through a machine vision, there are several contexts that get triggered, and that is an interesting look into how these machines arrive at what they are looking at. So that's sort of the idea to make this machine uh, analysis and meaning making more transparent for the public and to actually involve them into uh, the process of these interpretations and how we can channel the machine to look at a scene how we want it to look at a scene as opposed to the machine's authority uh, while judging an activity that we are doing. It seems to be the purpose of this sort of activity for now. Thank you